So last time we have discussed Planck's quantum hypothesis, which has two parts. Number one, the nature of total energy of a harmonic oscillator, which is quantized, which is given by a relation E is equal to NH nu, where N is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So N takes integer values, and presence of integer values is a symbol of quantization of energy. And the second part of the Planck's quantum hypothesis was particle nature of a light, and on the basis of which Einstein explained the theory of photoelectric effect. So these are this is the revolutionary postulate, revolutionary hypothesis, which was introduced as a new and unclassical idea in physics. The next thing which we are going to discuss is wave-particle duality. Wave-particle duality. We know that light in some of the phenomena like interference, diffraction and polarization exhibits wave nature, and in photoelectric effect, Compton effect and so on, light exhibits particle-like nature. So we say that the light has a dual nature. In some cases, light shows wave nature, and in some cases light shows particle-like nature. So light has a dual nature, and which can be concluded as saying that in a given situation or in a given phenomena, light shows one of these two characters. Either it will show a wave characteristic or it will show particle characteristic. There is no experiment which has been reported so far in which it shows both the nature. So light has a dual nature, wave as well as particle, and that in a given situation it shows only one character at a time. It doesn't show both these two characters simultaneously in a given phenomenon. So coming to the conclusion that light has a dual nature, we'll go ahead and we'll discuss that nature exhibits itself in two forms. So if you consider nature, then in nature there is a matter, and second one radiation. Matter and radiation. Nature exhibits itself in two forms, matter as well as radiation. Among these two forms, we have seen that radiation or light shows a dual nature. So it shows particle nature apart from its own wave nature. So if radiation has a dual nature, then the question that naturally comes is that the matter, if nature exhibits itself in these two forms, and if one of them shows a dual nature, then matter must also show dual nature. So apart from its particle nature, it must show a wave nature. And answer to this question was given by de Broglie, a French physicist, so who put forward a hypothesis, so de Broglie hypothesis or de Broglie waves. A French physicist, de Broglie, put forward a hypothesis that a moving material particle has a wave associated with it, and these waves are called as matter waves or de Broglie waves. So de Broglie's hypothesis is based on following observations. Number one, nature's love for symmetry. There are many symmetries in nature. The leaves of most of the trees are symmetrical in shape. Our human body is a good example of nature's love for symmetry. We have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 legs, 2 hands which are symmetrically located. And there are many such symmetries in nature. Then matter is handled in mechanics and the radiations or light is handled by optics. These are the 2 major branches of physics which handles matter and radiation. Mechanics handles matter and the optics handles radiation or light. So there are many similarities between mechanics and optics. First similarity is that in mechanics there is a principle of least time for the motion of the bodies. The first similarity is the principle of least action for the motion of bodies. And in optics there is a principle called Fermat's principle of least time for path of the light. Then second similarity between mechanics and optics is that the natural numbers occurs in mechanics. For example, for standing waves produced on a stretched string, the occurrence of natural numbers is through this formula, n lambda by 2, where n takes value 0, 1, 2, 3. So natural numbers, they occur in mechanics. Similarly, in optics, natural numbers also occurs. For interference, the condition for path difference is given by n lambda or 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, where n takes value 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So what we observe here is in both the cases, mechanics as well as optics, natural numbers occurs and natural number is a symbol of quantization. So due to many such similarities, de Broglie believed that the material particle must also show wave nature apart from its particle nature. So material particles, they also have dual nature, just as light has. So just like light possesses dual nature, the matter or particles must also possess dual nature. So wave nature apart from its particle nature. De Broglie put forward this bold hypothesis in 1924 and he received the Nobel Prize for the same, for the discovery of matter waves or for the discovery of de Broglie waves in 1929. The experimental evidence for matter waves came in 1927. So he put forth this hypothesis in 1924. Experimental evidence for matter waves came in 1927 when Davis and Germer performed the experiment with electrons and have shown that electrons, although they are particle, they undergo a wave phenomena, namely diffraction. And only after the experimental confirmation of this wave phenomena shown by particle in 1929, de Broglie received Nobel Prize for the discovery of matter waves or de Broglie waves. And since then, many such particles such as protons, neutrons, they have shown the wave phenomena. The next article which I am going to discuss is expression for de Broglie wavelength. Expression for de Broglie wavelength. What is de Broglie's hypothesis? a moving material particle has a wave associated with it, for which we call as a de Broglie wave or the matter wave. Now the question is, what is the expression for this de Broglie wavelength lambda? So for that we will consider a case of photon. So photon is a particle, but I am going to assign dual nature for it. I am assuming that photon is a particle, and then I will assume that photon is a wave and photon is a particle, and let us see what happens. If we consider a case of photon having energy E, if I treat it as a wave of a frequency nu, then its total energy is given by E equal to h nu. E equal to h nu. Nu frequency is the wave characteristic. So photon which is under consideration is treated as if it is a wave having frequency nu. If I treat it as a particle of mass m, then E equal to mc square. Equating these two equations, mc square equal to h nu. So mc equal to h nu by c. 1c comes to denominator to this side. Mass into velocity of light is a momentum, so p is mc, and therefore p equal to h nu by c. We know that c equal to nu lambda, velocity of light is frequency times wavelength, and therefore expression for nu by c will be 1 over lambda. Okay, and therefore p equal to h upon lambda, or lambda equal to h upon p. Okay, this is the expression for de Broglie wavelength associated with photon, where p is a momentum of photon, p is a particle characteristic, and lambda is a wavelength associated with light, which is constituted by that photon, wavelength of a light and linear momentum of a photon. So this particular relation is called as a de Broglie relation, because this particular relation, which has been derived for photon, de Broglie assumed that this relation must be true for moving material particle or a material particle, where p equal to lambda equal to h upon p, where p equal to mv. For material particle having mass m and velocity v, p is a linear momentum of that material particle. De Broglie assumed that the same relation is true for moving material particle, where p is its linear momentum and lambda is wavelength associated with the wavelength associated with a matter wave, which is associated with that de Broglie wave associated with that moving material particle. So this is called as de Broglie relation or wave particle duality relation. The importance of this relation is that this particular relation connects particle characteristic, namely momentum p, with the wave characteristic lambda, and hence is called as wave particle duality relation. So let us stop here.